Hey everybody, there's one thing that has existed since the first iteration of the beta that I don't think we've shown. One of the interfaces that we don't really like so much, and we know that we're going to revisit, is this special screens interface. And one of the reasons it wasn't that big of a deal for us is we also supplementally use NES Screen Tool. Shiru's NES Screen Tool, which is super cool. If you haven't downloaded it yet, please download it. It's a really cool tool to make CHR files, which is the data files that the NES needs for graphics. It's a lot easier to work with this. Like, for instance, you can get an entire group of tiles and drop them in all at the same time. You can paint with just the sub palettes. It's a really neat interface. Definitely cool and very capable. If you wanted to build something in NES Screen Tool, it might be a lot easier than building something in our current version of our special screen editor. And we've made it very easy to get data from the NES Screen Tool over to NESmaker, and I'm going to show that to you real quick. So let's say you build this in, and you've got these palettes here, and you've got this is your CHR set. This is your graphics. This is basically this over here, your tiles, and this is what the screen actually looks like, right? What I can do is I can save the name table and attributes. So I'm just going to save that to my desktop somewhere. So I'm going to save this as NESmaker logo NT and attributes. Okay. And I'm going to save, I'm going to save this as a CHR file right here. So I'm going to select, shift and select to make sure I've got this whole thing selected, and I'm going to, save selection. I'm going to patterns, save selection, and I'm going to desktop, and I'm going to call this start screen CHR. Okay, you can name it whatever you want. That's just for reference. So I've made a CHR file. I've doctored it, dummied it up in NES Screen Tool. This is what I want my start screen to look like. If I come over into NESmaker, what I can do is, first of all, I'm just going to make this black so I can see something that's happening, and I'm gonna fill in these colors in a minute here, but I can go to this CHR viewer, and I can load a CHR file. Now this is loading the actual graphic file that the NES sees, not just a BMP file, and it'll turn it into a BMP file when we export to BMP that our tool needs. So I'm going to load up the start screen character, start screen CHR, and just so I can see it there. Okay, so this is the CHR file that's right here. If I put the colors in there, it would look the same. I think it was, something like that, whatever, just so we can see it. Okay, I'm going to export the BMP, and I'm going to put it just like I was doing with my other graphic assets. I'm going to overwrite my start screen. Okay, so now it is the new start screen graphics, and when I go back to start screen, it's loaded in as the tile set, and I can go to special screens, import.nam, import a name table file, and find my name table file and open it up. And there it is. Now it's still using these palettes, but it was that easy for me to get a name table that I built in NES Screen Tool over here. And what I could do for the palettes is I could just light gray, dark gray, white. So light gray, dark gray, white. And then the next sub palette was pink, light pink, dark pink. So like a middle pink, dark pink. I think that was backwards, but yeah, that's backwards. Light pink, dark pink. There we go. And then the next was light gray, dark gray, yellow, light gray, dark gray, yellow. And the last is sort of a purpley and a pinky and a bluey, like that, something like that. And I could go and I can mess with these and get them the colors that I wanted. And now it just took me a minute to get what I had built in the NES Screen Tool over into NESmaker. And if I now export and test, you'll see I have that start screen with all the palettes and the name table and the attribute data from the file that I made in the NES Screen Tool. So while you're waiting for us to sort of revisit this special screen editor, if you want to make better start screens and win screens and you want an interface that's a little bit less wonky, a little bit more intuitive, we really like the NES Screen Tool. It couldn't do everything that we needed it to do for our tool to function, but we used it for years before we made our own set of tools. So Shiru has done a great job with this tool, and we just wanted to show how you could make something in it. Or if you're already using this, if you're already a developer and you want to integrate this into your workflow, that's how easy it is to get graphics from here into NESmaker. So thanks for checking this out. I hope you guys are having fun with the new version of the beta.